You're well and doing great on this Tuesday, formerly known as Taco Tuesday. Starting honeymoon a little early this morning. Actually, we're starting here right on time. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We are live. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Oh, CTM, how special. What a thing. Good friend, messaging earlier this morning. Been with CTM 5 years now. Long ago, well absorbed CTM 1.0. It's gone on to do some brilliant things. Not only that, the whole reason we even trade these levered ETFs on stocks, FNGU, T-Triple-Q, was because of this very person constantly being like, Jordan, Bitcoin's great, check this out. Bitcoin's great, check this out. Bitcoin's great, check this out. January 2023, we launched stocks on the daily time frame. Messaged me this morning, and he's like, listen, it's 5 years. You know the full story, but I have to tell you something different, something it's gonna make your day. And it's a special day today, no doubt. It's gonna make your day. You know, because of I've been able to dig deeper into that relationship with God, and I just wanted to share that with you. And that right there is everything. CTM, so many things. CTM, so great to be here with you all. The Bears attack. The headline. No, guys, in all seriousness, this is like, I don't know, 6-7 days of bears in the background, except when Bitcoin's making new all-time highs. And there's no way bears could take any type of even semblance of a victory lap with a 0.5% gain on the day on the NASDAQ. But is it warning signs? Tomorrow we have FOMC meeting minutes. Government's closed, so we're just like a little short out on the data. But the Fed is not part of the government. The Fed, they fund themselves at the taxpayer's expense. Fed is going to be sharing their meeting minutes tomorrow. Today we have Fed Speaker Datter sending some stagflation signals. Not sure what stagflation that. I mean, Powell's like, listen, I don't see the stag. Here we have Atlanta GDP now forecasting 3.8% GDP for the third quarter. What about the inflation ticking up over here on true inflation right now at 2.3%? The highest it's been since June, or late June. And what's causing inflation to rise here, y'all? I don't know. I mean, thank God oil is low. Is oil low because of lack of demand? Is it a recessionary signal, or is it an oversupply? Huh. I don't know. Anyway, 39% chance U.S. recession by the end of 2026. Jamie Dimon today out on the feed. Oh my gosh, guys! The problem is I have to be quick today, which is why I squeezed in the 3 extra minutes. And the problem is that there's so much to share that I can't even get started here. But we'll just have to do our best to keep it light and sweet. So that's logical. Is it the tariffs only? That's not what the data is showing. Is it egg prices? Is it food prices? I think we need to dig a little deeper into that, or I would like to get to the bottom of that and figure out what exactly is rising in price over here. Because I don't know. And is it indeed? I mean, this past week we've seen, or like in the past 7 days, in the past week we've seen the Fed fold on. Okay, it actually, it wasn't the tariffs that were going to cause the inflation, and they folded on that view. Are they just always wrong? And as soon as they fold, does it turn out that indeed we do see rising prices because of the tariffs? What happens if we dig in a little bit deeper? So food and beverages is down. Housing, utilities, that, and I see lots of reports from a lot of people, especially in areas like Virginia. I'm trying to think of some other areas. I've heard Texas, Where these data centers are being built, a lot of people are complaining that their utility bills continue to rise. Why is anyway? I don't know. I can't. Is it utilities? Is it energy rising that's causing the uptick? Makes sense if that's what it is. And what about our good old friend over here? What about, oh, by the way, DXY is getting close here to testing the top end of the channel. This is coming off of obviously the much weaker trend. Oh, yen back above 150, headed towards 162. Is it going to stop there or is it going to blow out? Hard to say. Let me jump back down and just peek at what's going on here with oil. Um, I mean, still low, still low. So, electric bills are not though. Electricity keeps rising over here. Got to feed those data centers. Got to help fund big tech. No question about it. Bananas. I don't like the sound. My utilities haven't gone bananas. Hopefully, God willing, that continues. But this is what I've been hearing, and that's a lot, and that explains the rise here in the CPI. It makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know the weighting of utilities within the CPI, but I imagine it's decent. I do. I imagine it's decent. All right, we're just gonna build in over here and check out what's going on across the board. Keep an eye over here on whether or not dollar's able to break out and above. Jamie Dimon is, by the way, the Treasury, even with the shutdown, is putting out some new issuances here in October. And you could see that the Treasury general account, instead of being drawn upon, is actually rising during the shutdown. It seems that the government here has a lot of resources that, if this indeed turns out to be a long lasting showdown, that they're going to be able to push it out for quite a while. How long before the market starts saying, "Whoa, wait a second, is this actual an issue?" Or are we going to see soon enough, within, by a week from now, around the 15th, is when they would stop paying the military? Are we going to see a resolution by then? We'll find out. Is this going to become a story later on? I don't know. Jamie Dimon was saying that, you know what, the consumer still looks strong, but you never know. In 2026, we could have a recession, and you have to wonder, the big guy Jamie Dimon, he's the one who said that rates were going over 6%. We're going to stay higher for longer. I mean, I don't know. We'll find that out. This all leads to, and I'm preparing for at a later date, early phase of a crack up boom. Right now, you could see it early state. We're early stages. We're not even close. But you could see it right now, where you have that monetary excess and asset inflation phase. Remember, QE, people were like, people with doctors in their names were like, no offense to the doctors here and the surgeons and at all. Maybe we're talking a bit more academic financially here, but people are like, oh no, QE is deflationary. We're like, that's uber asset inflationary. What are you talking about? Gold and Bitcoin strength, early defense, fiscal dominance entrenched, bond market strained, but not yet rejecting issuance, as we're seeing right now. Volatility still low, velocity still low. Excuse me. The differentiator from true late stage. We're going to be taking a look at that a lot, because this is really, over the next 7 to 10 years, this seems to be the path that we are entering on. All as I could say to you. Anyway, I don't want to go there today. I'm going to really get into that. Curious to know your thoughts about treasury companies, their future role in where Bitcoin is in a paradigm shift. This was coming off of the thread we did yesterday on Twitter, talking about how humans have trouble comprehending paradigm shifts in real times. I'm going to actually just read this really quick. That humans struggle to perceive paradigm shifts, why they're happening, because our brains were wired to interpret change through the lens of the past. And we're all really good at spotting patterns. Actually, we're all really good at spotting patterns early, very early. Something about that, you know, like we're what percent of the population? Very, very small. We rely on pattern recognition, assuming the future will look like an extension of what we already know. Accepting that a paradigm shift has often invalidates years or decades of learned framework and identity, which is psychologically painful. How about you? Are you ever see that movie Heat? Are you ready to walk away in a second if need be from everything? Like it, and it's that was more along the lines of he's being asked, "Are you ready to walk away from the life you built, from the relationships you have?" But for us, it's more of ideas of what you believe to be true. A lot of people cannot do that, right? People wait for consensus before believing something, but by that time consensus forms, the opportunity is already passed. You're now chasing. We talk about people buy Bitcoin at the price they deserve. I don't really think that's fair. It's not their fault that, they live within the confines that they do, but eventually everyone will be forced is a better way of putting it, I do believe. We instinctively prefer what's familiar, even if it's outdated. For sure. I believe that. I truly do. It's comfortable. We don't like discomfort. We like comfortable. Most change from AI to Bitcoin adoption. AI is being adopted quicker than Bitcoin, which is adopted quicker than mobile phones and quicker than the internet, compounds faster than our intuition can track. Most people can't see paradigm shifts as they happen. They're still using old models. This is so important over here. They're using old models. 4-year cycle, dare I say. The secular bear market in bonds is one of those shifts. What worked for 40 years no longer works now. Most people can't see a paradigm shift why it's happening. The 40-year bond bull is over. The monetary system is resetting. Gold is quietly telling the truth. Gold continues over here, not even phased by today's price action. By the way, Ethereum here flirting with what would be a sell impulse after the 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. One spring over here. Man, this looks like, to me, imagine this grab being over here. That looks to me a lot like, dare I say, April, May 2021. Nevertheless, sell impulse over here. Hey, there's a good chance we're coming back down to test once again. At that point, though, I think we're going to need to draw in a second area for Ethereum. And it would be this, right? So I don't want to confuse you today. We're into support. We're just now into support. Bears have been trying to attack for weeks and have gotten nowhere each and every time. Whether or not this is going to be a moment of follow through, which would be so sweetly welcomed. Like yesterday, I think, and I felt out there that people were just like, this thing is just it's erupting and it's not gonna stop. I'm not talking about Bitcoin, I'm talking about equities over here. Don't forget, we are by Microsoft. I'm bringing this back to MicroStrategy right now. Bitcoin bull run still in the market. You can see over here, nice little exit off of Bitcoin, locking in some love. And then Ethereum still into the market. Taking a stop loss here on MicroStrategy, 2.8% stop loss out of the market. Still holding from a discretionary standpoint over here, right? We got a breakout. We're just into a retest. If we are able to resume out of that retest, don't worry. We'll be right back in there. We will be right back in there quickly. But right now we're safe and protected, and that's good. My expectations, and it came up over there. I don't understand what's going on over here, Jordan. Yesterday, you were talking about how you were sidelined a week ago, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we were 100% in cash, and every day here we go over our positioning. And out there on the X, we've talked about when we took those first positions and how I say, well, I think we're going to get chopped up. Now, they've extended way further than I anticipated. TQQQ, Tesla taking the first ones, followed by FNGU. And then eventually we saw Nvidia enter the market late, along with IBIT, and MicroStrategy stopped out. So look, it's not like out of nowhere. I'm just like, oh, we were 100% in cash and now we're 100% fully allocated. No, this is a progression every day. We are. This is why we show up and put the work in. Out of the market right before this all-time high. Yeah, 2 weeks ago we were there. Every day since we've talked about what's taken place. Tesla now, I never thought this would happen. I thought we were going to get chopped up here. And if the Bears, which this is a long shot, I don't know that the Bears are going to gain any momentum or not today and into the week. But this is their opportunity. This is their opportunity. And Tesla up 20%, getting close to locking in some gains here. You can see the deviation, if you look over here, is getting close to locking in some gains. That looks like if the tide were to turn, that might make up for that MicroStrategy loss, and as well as give us some cushion. So instead of getting chopped up, where I was very concerned that maybe we walk away with some small profit, and that's what it's about. I heard someone out there, bananas, talking about, out there in the crypto, people are looking for like 100x, 200x. They heard about some anon making 100x, and they go, I gotta pick my coin. He's like, no, that's not how you do it. You got to be methodical, and you got to take the sure shot. What we do here, conquering the markets, guys. Do you understand the title of what we deal with? Conquering the markets. It's not hubris, but it takes time, and it takes discipline, and you have to understand. Not only are you competing with the best of the best, you can be the best of the best. T triple Q still very far over here. There's a lot of time for this continue to pull. FNGU, this could turn to a full stop loss. I imagine if this were to fall out, you could see over here this bit of support is hanging. It's been tested. It's still holding. The Bears have their opportunity, but if they get it, we could see that this come back very quickly. And we're not. I don't think we're in the safe zone at all. IBIT still holding. Nvidia here still holding. Nvidia has a tight stop loss. We'll see if we walk away from this period. Even if the bet, this could continue rising, and these positions, could go from double digit and then mid double digit, and we always want that, but who knows? But I'm looking for managing my risk mentally. What's the worst case scenario? And it looks like in the worst case scenario, we still walk away here, checking the right boxes. Boom. Boom. All right. What else is going on over here? Let's check out the Bitcoin, just off all-time high. $125,000 a Bitcoin all time. Did it hit 126? 126? Nope. Maybe 126. 126, $219,000. A 30% pullback now. I mean, who's to say it would stop at 30% if we were to get a pullback? But a 30% pullback, look at this. We got this 89,000. That's pretty strong area of resistance. This resistance has held since 2024. That would be an opportunity, I do believe. What about into the line over here? Or what happens if Jamie Dimon, we're gonna, consumers still hanging in there, but you never know what could happen in 2026. And of course, you don't. 40. Look at this, 69,000, 45% pullback into that pocket of support. Look left. That would be the biggest drawdown so far of the cycle. Yeah, if we hit a recession and liquidity crisis, again, liquidity crisis likely means pressure, and then V, recession, deflationary spiral. This could be something that really, leads to a bigger, longer bear market. Only people see 2026 cycle top right now, you know, what put that out in the future. That doesn't seem to be where we're headed right now. The macro could change rapidly though. We'll continue to put it out. It looks like we're building some nice space over here though, off of the all-time high. Don't forget, into the end of the year, 150 would just be absolute, our cherry, and that's expectations well within the sustainable channel that keep us carrying out. We're well within the sustainable channel. And as long as we hold the 2024 structure, it is super bullish, continuing our ride into 2026. People looking for the top, people looking for the breakdown, people looking for the AI bubble to pop. But I mean, guys, we're likely, and we have earnings coming up. We're watching to make sure what's going on here, what's going on with Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet. They pulling back, they continuing, they increasing. We know there's funny games going on, specifically with OpenAI and NVIDIA and OpenAI and AMD. And we got OpenAI seems to be a part of all this, that non-for-profit, but nevertheless, guys, the music's going. And, who knows? 70K bear bottom. That's not even a bear, right? 70K, 45% at any point in time. That's still the same cycle. Bear markets in the past each have lasted 12 months and have had anywhere from a 76 to an 85% drawdown. 185% drawdown, 184% drawdown, 176, 45% drawdown. That's just the bull market. For Bitcoin, that's a bull market. Very much so. We breached 60%, and I'm going to be like, that was a bear market. That had reduced downside volatility, but still 60. And even though if that were to happen, I don't know the duration. I don't know what's going on. Look, I don't know what's happening next week. Nevertheless, this week we gotta, we'll take it as it comes and we'll navigate the best we can. But 60%, that's on the long side that we gave of what our expectations are. I don't think we hit a 60% drawdown. I don't think we hit over a 40% drawdown unless we first rise up out of the channel. We rise up out of the channel a little bit, then I think that there's a stronger chance that on the mean reversion that we hit a 40%. Yeah, as long as they're earning, and they are, and that's so important. Earning seasons is so important, and that that weaker dollar too, that's probably helped corporate earnings. Don't forget, they are global entities. We'll find out. We'll check it out. Indeed. I'm trying to find a chart here of the NASDAQ just to see. Yeah, I mean, the best they could do so far, it's early in the session. You can see Bitcoin and crypto bleeding out a little bit more. No doubt. Gold continues to hold like no one's business. Still just under $4,000. Anyway. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if the bears right here, the bears in the background, they're lurking. Let's see if they get some follow through. I would love to take out just even this low right over here. Take it out, come in. By the end of the month, we should be ready for what I expect into the end of the year. Should be a nice continued run on risk. We'll navigate it together. I'm going to keep it really short today. I have to, but I want to be here and I want to be able to discuss all these things with you. But our conversation continues. Woo. Woo. Our conversation continues. We'll be back at it tomorrow, y'all. Guys, have a beautiful day. Ladies, lots of love, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you all tomorrow, CTM.